Birdos.
It is when you're hungover as fuck.
I believe Ernest is starting. Yes?
Oh, a little bit.
A little bit. All right.
Oh, man.
In the winter, nothing
Let's go.
makes the chill out better than mead as a hot toddy.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! And with
Hot
that,
toddy.
what is up, nerds? This is the first podcast for Las Vegas Gamers Unite, a Las Vegas-based gaming group. I am your host, Javier. Joining me at the table is Reed, Natalie, Ernest on sound, and Ray holding the baby. But I'm guessing you guys are going to want a little bit of background on who we are and what we do, so I will let the creator, Natalie, talk a little bit about Las Vegas Gamers Unite.
Hey guys, Natalie here. So when talking about Las Vegas Gamers Unite, our anniversary is actually March 19th. We have been in business about a year, primarily realtor, as well as Javi as an investor. We decided to start a meetup, pretty much create I have to redo this, I'm sorry, I got distracted.
I feel like we should put on your business card now, it needs to be real estate gamer, real estate agent, owner, founder, CEO for Las Vegas Gamers Unite.
Yep.
I don't know how expensive. You can get like 500 cards for like $10, right?
Yeah.
It's very inexpensive.
All right.
Gotprint.com.
Yeah.
There you go. Man. So.
Sponsorship spot.
No, we're not there yet. We wish. We wish.
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm like trying to say the right things, but I'm getting lost.
Basically, we are a
Do you
group
wanna
of people.
Yeah, I would like to write stuff
Can you
down.
like give her a paper?
I'm sorry guys, I can't like out of
That's okay.
nowhere.
Ernest, take it away, though.
Who's got a pen?
Basically, we're a group of people who like to play video games, like to do tabletop games, card games, this, that, and the third. And Natalie, our fearless leader, decided, hey, I like to do these stuff, and I want to meet other people who like to do these things.
Thanks.
And so she started up the meetup group, and by chance, I happened to see it. I know I had just moved to Vegas last year in January, so I was looking for a group like this to begin with. And so I was really excited to find this, and been here ever since. And that's my story. What about everyone else?
I was actually similar. So I'm a huge gamer, huge nerd, always have been, always will be. And it was actually Ray who found the meetup online. She was like, hey, I know you're into investing and you're into gaming, and somebody's out there that's doing kind of a little bit of both, business building and gaming at the same time. Why don't we check it out? So I said, all right, cool. We came out one Saturday. It was back in February, wasn't it, or March, somewhere around there? Man. So it's been close to a year now, almost a year.
And I actually ended up going back home during that period.
Yeah, because you were pregnant.
I was pregnant and I wanted my mom to take care of me. And by the time I came back, Javi was co-hosting the meetup.
Yep.
So,
Because I'm awesome.
no,
Don't
yeah.
say it.
And then she slipped it under.
Yeah.
For me, actually, it was through a Facebook invitation. Someone that I know happened to know Natalie, and they work in real estate together, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
And he does home financing, and he just decided to share the whole group. And I showed up. I'd actually just gotten back into town. I went to my friend's Cinco de Mayo party. He lived in St. George at the time, and but he was having it on like the 24th or whatever. And so, like, it was just one of those random parties that kept getting delayed.
Serendipitously.
And so he was like, oh, yeah, we just have to hold it back a week, and so whatever. So I went and did that, and then somehow I got really, really sunburned. So I showed up, and my whole face was, like, really red and blistered. And people were like, whoa, my gosh, what happened to you? I mean, there was only, like, 6 people, too.
That was your chance to, like, start your superhero story. Just, like, come in and be like...
Acid, guys, on my face.
From my arch nemesis.
Yeah. I don't know whatever the arch nemesis of a panda would be. Like, poachers. So, I don't know.
They fight with acid?
Poachers that walk around throwing acid on pandas. But anyways, I just started going regularly, and started doing D&D and playing Rock Band and hanging out with everyone there, and just became like a normal thing. Like that's like my normal Saturday now. It's just that it's like Saturday is like pretty much my favorite day. So
Yep.
because of that, so
That was Reed, by the way.
that's just me, Reed, speaking.
It's important that everybody knows who they're talking. Who's
Exactly.
talking.
Next
We're
time,
we're gonna have to do it multiple times.
We'll have to do intros,
Be
right?
Like, hello, this is Ernest currently now speaking,
Read
saying
here,
that we're
everyone.
gonna have to announce our names probably more than a few times
Wait,
over the
this
course
is-
of the
this
weeks.
Is all recording?
All of this is live.
Yeah, all of this is live.
Natalie,
All of this is
since we
live.
all talked about how we got into it, why don't you
Since we basically did your
know.
job.
Wow.
Since
I'm
it all
just
comes
kidding.
out, why
I'm
don't
just
you tell
kidding.
us how you got it started? Why you got it started?
Well,
Why did we all end up there?
why we all ended up there. Okay, so basically what had ended up happening is I was having a business discussion with another agent regarding my real estate business. We had spoken and I was doing some cold calling, open houses, your typical lead generation strategies. One of those things that he had told me though was you're a face-to-face person. You should be out there in front of people, talking because that's your strong point. So I said, all right, that sounds great. I log into Meetup because I figured networking groups would be beneficial, right? So I log in and I said, okay, well, what do I like doing? Playing video games. So I took an interest into Meetup, looked at meetup.com and realized that nobody was actually actively playing anything aside from board games. So that's when I said, you know what, we've got a great office with like an 80-inch TV. If I just put Rock Band over there and invited, had some free pizza and stuff, maybe I can get some vendors and other people who may be interested in a realtor like me, who caters more to the millennium feel.
And free pizza.
And free pizza.
And
Because who's
for
going to say no to
the-
free pizza?
That honestly, that's what got me going.
I
Like
believe-
it was
I
like
believe-
it's, I know someone there. It's a nerd-based thing, and then the free pizza, and I was like, oh, okay, now I'm going.
Yeah.
So obviously when you guys first came to the first meetup, because you guys were part of the first meetup.
Yep.
Yeah.
So obviously when we went there, I had no idea what was going on. I just knew that we were a bunch of nerds and we were going to play Rock Band. And then
That was the
slowly-
first one? I could have
That was
sworn
the
it was
first
like
one.
going
No.
on for a couple times before.
That was
I
the first
told
one?
you it was the first
It
one.
it was just rock. I don't even remember you. I remember Reed.
Yeah.
I don't remember either of you with the first one, which is
Yeah.
I
think-
remember.
I
Yeah,
think-
I remember you, and I remember one other person who doesn't, really come anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, wow. I was, for some reason, I thought you had been doing it for a little while. Like, I knew it was relatively new, but good on you. Like,
you.
for coming in, and I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
this is well put together.
So, as anything, you have to be consistent with it. So we, the plan was to see if it was going to be profitable, if it would get me any clients, within then in 90 days. Then slowly but surely, once the traffic started going in, then I became more passionate about it. And that's when we decided to all partner up and kind of, go and incorporate tabletop and incorporate new expansions and have 3 consoles and, then afterwards reach out to our business vendors, which is what we're doing now, and slowly incorporate them and advertise them since we have a following now.
Yep.
So
About
that's
400 people on Meetup and over, 100 on Facebook?
over 100 on Facebook, yes.
Yeah.
So obviously a lot of our clientele or, audience is really introverted. So it's all about consistency and getting an awareness that it's a safe place.
Yep.
Once that's established, more people are going to come and realize it and attend.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's definitely something that I've heard a lot of people saying that, not using the word safe space, but saying like, one reason I really enjoy coming is because I can come and feel like I can be myself and not get made fun of and make friends.
It's a good place to come and just nerd out.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know about not be made fun of because I call the D&D guys nerds all the time. So.
That's true. I mean, they are.
They are. He's super nerds.
We are.
Hey, if zombie apocalypse, like random magical explosion, whatever, that opens up the world to like fiends, we got the shit covered.
Oh yeah,
You
I
saw the
fully
weapons.
plan on calling you and
Fiends
being
and
like,
villains.
Fiends and villains.
Quick,
Isn't
Javi,
that-
we need your 20-side die for the zombie apocalypse.
Hey, don't underestimate the 20-sided die to the eye.
Natural one.
No!
Well, I guess I have to lay down
Lay
the
down
die.
his die. I'm still sick.
The dice have spoken. Okay, so I guess for the first one, we took on kind of a fun topic, an interesting topic that seems to be trending right now. It's augmented reality and virtual reality, and we're going to kind of talk a little bit about the history, where it is now, and where we think it's going. But before we do that, I know we're all a bunch of gamers here, so I'll go ahead and start with what I'm playing right now. What's got my attention as far as video games. I've been really, really into Star Wars The Old Republic. It's a massive multiplayer online game for, of course, for the PC. done by BioWare. I love those guys, Mass Effect series, Dragon Age series. And it's free to play, which was a huge draw, because I'm like, hey, I don't have to spend money on it.
Mm-hmm.
And they do a fantastic job with storytelling. It's not so great at the MMO portion of it, but I was a huge fan of Knights of the Old Republic back on the Xbox. Yeah, KOTOR number 2 was pretty cool, and I've been waiting for KOTOR number 3, so this is kind of filling the gap. But I do hear that there are rumors that KOTOR 3 is actually coming out sometime in the near future.
That would be interesting, because I
That
haven't
would be
heard
really
anything, and it's been a while.
It's been a
It's
long
been
while.
a long while since there's been a Knights of the Old Republic game, but it would make sense to do it now, sometime winter, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Put it around there, around the release of the next Star Wars.
I heard that they were thinking about doing like a series, a KOTOR series.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did episodic content.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the way things are going right now.
Yeah, kind of like they did with Clone Wars, you know?
Yep.
Just straight up KOTOR.
Yeah, straight up KOTOR. Yeah.
And
I would love to see it on next-gen consoles.
if they do it the way Hitman has done their episodic content, that's apparently gone super well for those guys. So I think they've set the standard for that type of stuff, but we'll see.
Yep. All right, we'll go to my left here. Reed, what are you playing right now?
Kind of just the same old stuff. I mean, I haven't really done anything new except for I did buy the Skyrim special edition the other day because I just freaking love Skyrim. Oh my gosh, and it just looks great. Like it's kind of I'm the guy when I'm walking through the game, I'm like, holy crap, look at that rock! Holy crap, look at that grass! Ah! And then like the dragon flies over, and I'm like, but the bushes!
Look at the detail on the bushes!
I can see the leaves. And so,
Are you on console or PC?
oh, I'm on console. It's Xbox One right now. I've been a console gamer pretty much forever because I've never had a good enough computer to actually justify playing anything on computers themselves. And then it's been that, and then like Overwatch is my other go-to when I want to do like competitive stuff. And then for story, BioShock Infinite, because that game just right in the feels. And just gameplay and like stylistically speaking, as far as like the actual environments of the game go, it's just really interesting. Like the whole flying city, it's just great.
It's a neat game. I know a lot of people didn't like it. Everyone's always comparing to the first BioShock.
Well, they're stupid.
Them's fighting words, Reed.
And if they knew the game, they'd know that you go to Rapture.
Right? Automatic savior.
Let the record show that I'm doing that meme face thing. Like,
Oh.
A meme face. The meme face.
the meme.
The meme. Yeah, no, I missed the whole BioShock series. I was kind of...
I'll get the special edition one day.
Yeah, because by that point I was already... Like, I've been PC Master Race for... God, I don't want to say near a decade now.
Wow, you're old.
Thanks.
I think the last game that I played on PC was Zoo Tycoon, but it was like the special edition one, which had like the extended animals, like with the extra animals. So there was like the Komodo dragon and the panda and all that crap, and then there was the dinosaur one, and then also the marine life where you could get like the dolphins and the giant squids and such. And that game, like, oh my gosh, like I remember I made deals with my mom. It was kind of like making deals with the devil, because the price I had to pay so much outweighed the actual prize itself, but I didn't care
Because you wanted to play.
because I wanted the freaking dolphins.
Yeah. Natalie, what do you got? What do you got going on right now in your gaming life?
You know what? I've actually hit up a couple of the Resident Evils from the very beginning. So like I've got
Resident Evil.
Right.
What are you talking about? The OG Resident Evil.
OG Resident Evil, yeah. They had it. They had a special on it, which was $10 on Xbox. So I decided to, for nostalgia's sake, start replaying them.
Oh my god.
And they're like hit right in the feels.
I know.
It's so
that
great.
game.
Yeah.
Made me pee my pants a couple of times.
It really did. You know, like that snake that came by?
I couldn't get past that point. Like, I remember,
Really?
like, the first time I played it, not that I couldn't get past it from a technical standpoint, I was, like, so freaked out that I had to shut off the game. I was like, nope.
Nope.
I'm just gonna sit here and, like, not even try.
That's a nope
crazy
snake.
How they remastered like the graphics and stuff. I mean, it's still the same kind of graphics, but you can kind of just see the evolution of what they look like now.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting to play a game on an Xbox.
Did they revamp the controls? Please tell me they revamped the controls.
Slightly, yeah.
Okay.
Not really.
It's still that whole you have to turn first and
Yep.
then run
Oh
forward.
no, that's Resident Evil, baby.
Yeah,
you don't
that's
know.
Admittedly, I think you can kind of say at the time, maybe even now, it's a feature of the game because it makes it that much more like suspenseful because you know that thing is like right like down off the camera, off screen, and you're just like, oh god, I'm turning, oh god, I'm turning.
90 degree, 90 degree,
What is it?
90
like
degree.
11-point turn.
Yeah, an 11-point turn, and then you run, and you're
Basically.
screaming because you see the thing, and then you make it to the door.
Basically.
Yep.
So been playing a little bit of that. Other than that, haven't really tapped into anything new. Obviously, with the Switch coming out, it's gonna be a big.
You're saving them gaming points for the Switch.
I am, but you know what? I read an article a little bit before that said that they didn't even have the capacity for one of the games that they had come out. Have you guys read any of that?
Thank you, Miss Natalie, for segueing to our news section.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have the Switch that's coming out on the 3rd. Unfortunately, you pretty much can't get it anywhere. So GameStop's claiming they're gonna have walk-ins. How long that's gonna last is.
GameStop never has walk-ins.
They
That's true,
think
yeah.
Black Friday at a Walmart is probably gonna be a bad time.
Someone's getting trampled.
But no,
That's terrible.
it's literally this article from Polygon going Target, Walmart, Best Buy, Amazon, done, gone, out, no. Interestingly enough, there's no official news from the Nintendo World Store in New York if they're gonna have just wall-to-wall switches, which they probably should, but
Yeah.
there's nothing up there. But basically, Amazon will give you an option to get emailed when they're in stock. Everyone's basically like,
Whatever.
we'll get them when we get them.
Yep.
Which is, it's kind of telling of Nintendo being Nintendo.
Yep.
The same thing they did with the NES Classic this past holiday, where I think they knew what the demand was, and they're intentionally under manufacturing.
Gotcha.
Kind of limiting the release.
You know what I think
Yeah,
it is
rise
though.
in
I
sales.
think it's. I don't think it's necessarily intentionally under manufacturing. I think they're just hyper conservative. Like it's.
After the Wii U, they should be.
Yeah. I think they're just. I mean, usually they're hyper conservatives because kind of like they see the hype, they see the numbers, but then I think they're probably internally going like, oh well, I mean that's just hype, that's just numbers.
I mean, it's like when you respond to an event on Facebook, right? Like,
Yeah.
300 people will say they're going, and like
And then-
20 people show
yeah.
up. So
Yeah, so I think I mean, take that as you will. I mean, in a way, it's to Nintendo's detriment because obviously their products are in demand and high demand.
That's money on the table.
It's money on the table. So, I mean, I'm of the opinion, and this is purely conjecture, purely opinion, because I'm not really doing too much research into the inner workings. But yeah, I don't think it's so much from a sinister purpose or like, haha, we're gonna generate money or we're gonna generate more interest and thus more money, while they're maniacally rubbing their hands together. And it's more of like they're just being hyper conservative with their sales numbers and trying not to over manufacture and have a surplus of stuff. So
the only counter I would say to that is that this is a new console.
yeah.
It's not like the NES Classic where you can sell it for a holiday season and that's kind of the product for the holiday. The Tickle Me Elmo to date my age of the season. But it's like this is something that should last them like 4 or 5 years. This is a major console release. So if you make a bunch more, so long as they don't crash and burn like the Wii U did for the reasons that we won't bother to try to argue here, but there should be a slight overabundance because you want the people who are gonna get in on the ground floor, and then the people who are like me gonna wait a little bit and decide is this see what other bundles come out, a sale, something like that. Just
Usually you wait a
By
month
the
and there's some kind of bundle that'll come out where
Yeah.
you'll save like $50 or something like that. And a lot of people too are waiting for the actual reviews. Like IGN and Game Informer and all that. They'll do reviews of the system itself, but people want to know what real people have to say about it, not just the people who are getting paid to say nice things.
Although apparently, I don't know if you heard I don't know if this is actually true. I think it was. Some guy actually got his Switch early by mistake by like like last week. I mean, early. He wasn't supposed to get it. He doesn't know how he got it, but he got it with a copy of not Wind Waker. It was Breath of the Wild. That's the one. I'm a gamer, I swear, guys. But
I was like, what a mistake.
Yeah.
Zelda just isn't your thing.
Yeah,
that's all.
So it was Breath of the Wild. He got a Nintendo Switch, and he like released. I wouldn't say everything, but essentially he released video spoilers, all that kind of stuff. Did a full review on it.
Was it like positive or?
I mean, I didn't read the review, so I don't know whether it was positive or negative. Mostly the hype was about the fact that he'd already released spoilers like weeks before.
He's like, "Whoa, guys, let's do a playthrough, yeah!" And then...
Yep. And it's like, I mean, this is weeks before the actual release date of the system and the game, so you know he didn't even give some time for people to sink their teeth into it before just, hey guys, look what this game's doing.
You know, I'm reading an article right now on the Switch because I had a buddy of mine actually send me an article about this. So apparently, you know, you've got your cartridge and your downloadable content.
Yep.
So apparently, if you don't have, if anything that's downloadable, like Dragon Quest, for example, that's already. The article literally says an onboard storage could prove an immediate problem for Nintendo Switch with one announced game already slated to take up more memory space than the console comes with.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
So, you know,
are they going to open that up to like expandable memory or something?
There is an expandable memory, right?
It's a micro SD card.
Freaking money hole.
Yeah. 40 euros online. So the other games listed in their file sizes are Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Disgaea 5, Nobunga's Ambition, Sniper Clips Cut It Out Together, I Am Setsuna, and Puyo Puyo Tetris. In total, you'll need at least 67.41 gigs to store digital versions of all games at the time of writing, and in 128 gigabyte micro card retails for about 40 euros online. So the Switch comes with, I believe, 32.
Yes, I think that's right.
Yeah.
So you just gotta like commit to playing one game, play it through, and then delete that game,
Yeah,
play another game.
Well, you don't have to download the game.
Yeah, the difference is do you choose to go all digital, half and half, or all cart?
Sounds like cartridge is the better way.
In this instance, it would probably be the well, knowing Nintendo, I don't know Nintendo's sales in how they operate from a week to week basis. It just depends. So I mean, I've started going all digital, just because I want to save space in my limited room without having to stack game boxes up to the ceiling. It's a process. I don't know, especially given Nintendo's reticence to adapting to online capabilities. Like, do they have an account system? I think they do. Finally.
Oh, they still. No. They do, but they're still using like the old friend codes and all that stuff.
Stuff that's way
outdated.
Way back in the day when I was playing Smash Bros. Brawl on the Nintendo Wii, I was playing with my friends in Georgia, and it was friend code. Like what's your 30-digit like barcode
like
that you need to type in to play with your friend for this one match?
At this point, it's not even. I mean, that's bad, but it should be the idea of I can put my username in, I can put a password in. That's my account.
Yep.
So if, for example, I know the big issue was if you sold your console, you couldn't easily just re-download your games if you bought a new one.
Yep.
So you traded in an old Wii for a newer one or something like that. And it was such a pain in the neck to get all of your games back. So we'll see. I really want them to figure that out.
We'll continue talking about the Switch when it actually comes out. We have a chance to experience it.
Yep.
And give honest experienced reviews. But for now, we should get back to discussing AR and VR.
Ray's keeping us on track.
Yeah, we got to.
Thank you, Taskmaster.
She needs like a whip.
we need a soundboard here, and then, just somebody like whenever she like speaks, I'm just wait, ding. Whenever she finishes, just
she needs like the buzzer sound, like.
What does that mean, babe? Does that mean you're whipped? Is that what we're?
No, that's whoopah.
Whoopah!
I think I just dated myself, guys.
Friends is ageless.
It really is.
Moving on.
Moving on.
All right, so getting to the main topic of the day, AR/VR.
How long are we in? Like, what's the time?
Just keep going. We'll
Finally
we'll
getting
get
to the
there
main
when we
topic.
get
For,
there.
Finally getting-
for
but
all
that's-
you noobs out there, AR/VR is augmented and virtual reality, as was mentioned earlier.
Yeah, augmented and virtual reality. So just a quick, what the difference is. Augmented reality is typically when you have virtual elements being superimposed on the outside world.
What superimposed? Big words.
It's like when you're making a collage.
Yeah.
You take a
Wow.
paper, and then
Yeah.
you find the magazine of things you like. You cut it out, and you take your little glue stick. and you
For the intellectually
Tap it on
incapable
there.
like Ray here,
just-
it's when you take digital elements and you put them pretty like over the real world.
Kind of like Pokemon Go.
Kind of like Pokemon Go.
Exactly like Pokemon Go.
Exactly like Pokemon
yeah.
Go, exactly. Whereas virtual reality is more of a, I wouldn't say an internal experience, but basically you're looking at the screen and the screen is giving you what the world
Everything
is.
before you is artificial.
Yeah, everything before you is artificial. So that's virtual reality, augmented reality. Just to kind of give a little bit of history on where it's come from, and at least where it's been. I mean, virtual reality, augmented reality goes back pretty dang far. I mean,
How far?
we're talking like 1800s far.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, granted, I guess you could argue whether or not these are virtual reality. It started off with stereoscopic photos and viewers. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen them. But, like, they look like these really whack glasses, almost like the bifocals or the binoculars that you would see at the opera.
Yeah.
So what you would do is you would put two pictures on either side, and one's for the left eye, one's for the right eye. You put them in this little viewport, and then the way the stereoscopic lens focused on the pictures and then presented it to your eye, it actually gave a depth. It gave kind of like a little bit of a 3D to the pictures. So you could take pictures of anywhere around the world, and it would kind of be, that was the attempt of like, hey, it's like you're actually there because you can. It's like a window into that picture, into that
Like
world.
that one toy with the reels.
Yeah, kind of like that one toy with the rules. I mean, that's a very, very rudimentary form of virtual reality.
Yeah.
So
It was this little red thing that you could put the.
Oh, the
ribbons.
camera,
Yes.
and you go.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Okay.
You could be anywhere.
I used to love the dinosaur ones.
Oh, those were great.
Yeah. So
We have aged ourselves
Dating.
super
I
hard.
know, super hard. Younger viewers are gonna be like, "What's that?" Don't worry about it, kid.
Like a
They do
kaleidoscope.
still exist. When I was working in
I don't
retail,
think
I
kids know
can
what
confirm.
kaleidoscopes are either. Is that a thing still?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm still
Oh,
there.
it is.
They were sold as like novelty retro toys.
Wow.
Oh god, that hurts so
Oh,
bad.
man.
Novelty retro toy.
Like the kaleidoscope, the camera viewfinder, and the chatterbox. Not the chatterbox, but the Mr. The phone from Toy Story 3.
The phone from oh yeah, I know
The
what
little
you're talking about.
chatterbox.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
phone.
yeah. I know
My
what you're
whole
talking
life,
about.
I wanted an easy bake oven. I never got the retro easy,
Easy
bake,
bake
oven.
oven. Dang.
And that was like, it's apparently worth a lot of fucking money right now. Apparently.
I
I
don't-
don't know.
Interesting.
I don't doubt that.
I mean, hey, there's you always go through these trends.
I
Yeah.
never
But,
had an easy bake oven.
So
My
yeah,
mom
I
just
mean,
told me to use a real kitchen.
That's what my mom said. Those brown women.
you don't need that. Use a real oven. But
Right.
mommy, I can hurt myself. I'm
Go make yourself a sandwich.
fine.
Go learn.
Dang. So I mean, yeah, like I mean, as far back and even before then, we've been humanity's always been trying to create like this illusion that you're somewhere else.
Right.
Through
Because the
panoramic.
grass is always greener.
Yeah, well, I mean, not necessarily the grass is always greener, but you're it's
Real life sucks.
It started with artists, trying to create these panoramic paintings where basically you would go into a room and this painting was it was like 360 degrees around, and the idea was to give you the feeling that you were somewhere else.
Right.
You were experiencing something other than what is here. Maybe because life sucked, or it was just like, hey, this is beautiful, let's try it out. So then later came the stereoscopic plates, photos and viewers, and then as early as like about 1929, 1930, the military really took on with the first virtual reality link trainer flight simulator that was purely mechanical. There was no graphical component to it. Basically, you just had like levers and pulleys that were controlling rotors, and then you had like this little model airplane in front of you that was, you were controlling mechanically, and it would give you like tilt and yaw and all that stuff, pitch and yaw. So that continued for a little while. 1960s kind of saw a little bit of a I wouldn't say a renaissance, but a little bit more delving. As the microprocessor, the original microchips were invented, albeit extremely rudimentary. Computers were starting to come into play. So now you could create computer-generated graphics. The only issue with that was, number one, processing power, because, you know, they could only use like 1 kilobyte, or I don't even think 1 kilobyte, it was like a byte or 2 at the time. And the rigs themselves were really big and really clunky, requiring you to get strapped into this huge machine, and then the interfaces were wireframe extremely basic. So you fast forward to 1987, give or take, and Jared Lanier, however you pronounce his name. Lanier.
I remember you saying it earlier.
Yeah, Lanier. It looks French.
Mm-hmm.
But he's kind of attributed with being the founder of the word virtual reality. He created a company called Visual Programming Lab, called VPL. And he coined the term virtual reality, and from his company came what was called the Data Glove and the OG iPhone. Literally, as in I've got a needle in my eye, phone. It was kind of like a virtual reality headset that you could wear around.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but they were kind of cost prohibitive, thousands of dollars at the time.
Also, needle in the eye.
Yeah, needle in the eye. No thanks.
Most
No, not a
people
fan.
aren't gonna
Google
go for
Glass saw that and were like, we should probably cut that.
Yeah,
People aren't
no
gonna.
thanks. No thanks. I think some of us, considering our age, again, we're dating ourselves. I don't know if you remember the virtual reality arcades of the early 90s,
Mhm.
starting off in 1991.
No, I wasn't.
I was
one.
You were alive in 1989. Don't lie. You liar.
I was
Wow.
really hoping you were gonna say the Virtual Boy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm getting to that.
Okay,
I'm
all
getting to
right,
that.
all right.
Virtual Boy isn't until like 1995. We're in 91 right now, homie.
I am not
Really?
born.
95?
It was a 95. So, anyways, early 1991. Most of us remember the virtual reality arcades, and they were like, I remember they would occasionally come to the malls. They were like these gigantic machines that you would sit in. You would have like this 30-pound headset that you would put on your face, and then, you know, have like really, really rudimentary polygon graphics on the screen, and you were running around. They had like really basic games, kind of like Capture the Flag and like.
Didn't they have that in that movie First Kid
I think so.
with what's
Yeah.
his face?
Yeah. So.
Sinbad.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then the kid gets,
Oh my
or Sinbad
God.
gets shot in the mall,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
and you're like,
I
no,
know.
bodyguard. Ah.
It's
Anyways,
we'll talk about that later. That's
Let's
a
talk
topic.
about Sinbad
The
later.
I brought it up because the kid, he's totally playing one of those virtual games, and,
He
and then
is.
he's meeting like this online predator terrorist guy who wants to kill the president's son, and
Yep.
that's like the whole plot of the movie.
Yep. It was so
A
bad.
Let's Watch
doesn't-
of
he
this
doesn't-
movie will be coming up
He
soon.
doesn't want to
from
molest
us.
him. He just wants to murder him, and
He's
so you know it's okay.
There you go.
Right?
Of
It
course.
can be a kids movie at that point.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, unfortunately, those kind of disappeared mainly because it was just cost prohibitive. I mean, I remember like at the time, arcades cost like $0.25, and $0.25 was just like holy crap. If you were paying 50 cents for an arcade, that was a lot of money. These things were like $1.75, $2 a playthrough. You would get, like,
Oh man,
a
that's
couple
like
minutes.
17 lawns that you gotta move.
Yes,
It's why,
seriously.
it's why the
Pull out
president's
all
son
your
was
teeth.
playing
Like,
it.
back in my day, we only got 5 cents for cleaning your room. But anyways,
Never
so
got paid for cleaning my room.
Me either.
yeah, neither did I.
Brown women.
You know, I would mow the lawn and I would cut the trees in the front yard. And
That's
I'd be
right.
like, "Hey, can I get an allowance?" It's like, "Homie, I give you food." Okay.
My dad paid me 5 cents for pulling weeds. 5 cents a weed.
You get 5 cents a week.
That's harsh.
So
I did the math. I was like, it's like $1, like 10. Can't even buy a candy bar.
So eventually, those virtual reality arcades kind of disappeared. It was a bit of a novelty at the time. They were kind of testing the waters for the technology, but it just wasn't feasible at that point in time. Then Nintendo came out with their Virtual Boy in 1995, which
So, just for reference, 95 is the same year the original Toy Story came out.
Yep.
So when you said 95, that blows my goddamn mind. I tell you what.
Yeah.
You got 89. Yeah, man.
So the same year we got Toy Story, one of the greatest movies ever, we get the
got
abomination that
those
is the Virtual Boy.
Yep, which I don't even think it lasted the year. Like, it was just abysmal in sales and just.
Because number one, it was a virtual reality headset that did not come with a strap for your head.
Yep.
How do you keep it on your face?
You put it on a tripod. You had to put it. It came
On a
with a
tripod.
tripod.
And then you like
And then
put
you
your
lean
face
into
in
it.
and you lean into it. And then the graphics themselves, like, it didn't have graphics to speak of. A lot of it was wireframe, and everything was in red and black. Yeah.
I remember seeing one game, and it was like a robot boxing game that looked pretty cool. All the rest of them are garbage.
Yeah, and then like there was another issue with it is that it would cause like, and that's kind of the issue. Like we'll talk about that. That's one of the problems that current virtual reality has. But it's kind of like this, not cognitive dissonance, but like you're watching things that are moving.
And you are not moving.
And you are not moving. So it causes like this really weird. I remember when I played it, I didn't get sick when I played it. But like after like 5 or 10 minutes, all of a sudden I would get kind of like cold sweats.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
it was weird, and I get tingly all over my body. I'd be like, "What is going on?" And I kind of like back off from it, and I'd be a little dizzy. And I'm like, "Okay, I'm not gonna play that anymore." So yeah, I don't even think it lasted the year. It had a really really small library. I mean, I don't even think it crested 30 games.
I don't think.
I've never even heard of it until now.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
it was kind of.
I was born in '92 though. So.
It's Nintendo's dirty little secret.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still around, and people point to it as kind of an example. But yeah, they came out with it.
As an example of what not to do.
Yeah, of what not to do. It came out.
This is how to fail.
Yeah, didn't last the year, and it just disappeared. Sega later on also tried to do something similar. They debuted kind of like their Sega virtual reality headset at some sort of, I don't think it was an Electronics Entertainment Expo. It was another convention, but it never took off. Like they never actually released a consumer product. They just kind of play tested it. They showed a prototype, and that was it. Then what kind of really brought a lot of this like full dive virtual reality to the forefront was, we all know, The Matrix. which revolutionized movie making as we know it. But The Matrix came out in 1999, which again blows me away because that was like close to 20 years ago.
Oh no!
I remember
A lot of us are having kind of like a crisis right now. It's like, what? No, it was yesterday when it came out.
I remember the first time I saw The Matrix. It was at Mark's house.
Yep.
I was with him and his nephew, and we were watching it, and I was like, "Wow, this movie's great!" And then like we got to the end, and I was like, "Well, I've never seen it before," and they were like, "I don't know, it's rated R or something," and I was like, because I was like 7 or no, I was like 5, and I was like, "I'm not supposed to watch R-rated movies."
Yep.
And it was like right at the point where there was like 20 minutes left in the movie. I wanted to know what happened.
Yeah.
But I felt so guilty. I was like, ah! Like my, like little 5-year-old Reed. I was like, no!
I'm doing something.
And I was like, whatever. I'm just gonna watch it. It's too late now.
Yeah, that's how he sounded like. True story. So The Matrix.
Totally accurate representation of me as 5.
Yep, The Matrix kind of, I wouldn't say it brought it to the forefront, but it kind of revitalized that kind of futuristic vision of like, hey, is this what we can go? Is this what we can do? Computing
Are we
technology.
all capable of dodging bullets?
It's an idea that people wanted to strive for. It's
Exactly.
like being plugged into a thing and being able to do the karate scene in the white room, basically.
Being able to do whatever you want, essentially.
Yeah, just download information. I mean, and that's kind of what started a lot of those conversations. Is it possible for us to be able to download information to our brains? What is this whole virtual reality full dive? What is it going to take? What kind of technology? So on and so forth. So that kind of it brought it, I'd say, to the mainstream. I wouldn't say it started the conversation because I think those conversations were happening in the background, but it kind of brought it to the mainstream, to the forefront, and people kind of looking forward and seeing what the future held. And now we come to like the 21st century of AR VR. It kind of got a little quiet for a while. I don't think there were any other virtual reality arcades or anything in augmented reality. I know the iPad kind of tried to do certain things with the augmented reality games.
And that was the thing. Like you would have, there was this one arcade game that would do motion tracking via camera, and via a couple of other cameras that they had set up, and you could duck and move.
There were two of them. There was a boxing game and a cop game.
Yeah, I remember the cop game. That's the one I'm thinking of.
I forget what the cop game was called though.
But yeah, other than that, it went pretty much radio silent since then till up to a couple of years ago when there was the Kickstarter for the Oculus Rift.
Police 911 was the name of the arcade, by the way.
Police 911.
Police 911. And those, I love the boxing
It's
one.
not redundant at all.
As opposed to Police 311.
311, right? But yeah, no, exactly. And really, what started off, because I mean, I know the Oculus Rift, it kind of came in a little bit under the radar. It was actually created in some dude's garage. As
Like all the best things.
And there's a whole drama behind that.
Yeah.
Which we won't delve into right now. But I remember that was the first time I had heard the term virtual reality brought up since the Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, I guess we're trying this again.
You just had flashbacks.
No! But no, yeah, Oculus Rift was an absolute hit. I know it like blew through its goals for backers and all that stuff. And
which was surprising to me because I figured again, like the people who would support it would remember all of the stuff that we had and go, nah, we don't want to mess with that again.
It was a bunch of
It's
people
one
who
of
just
those
held on.
young kids now.
It was a
That's
bunch of
true,
people who just held on to the dream.
Yep.
Well, that's
They
true.
were like
There's-
someday.
There's that too. I mean,
Yep.
the idea of it wasn't ready then, the tech is ready now.
Yep. The tech is ready now. I mean, yeah, absolutely. You know, that was like I would say probably mid 2005, or not mid 2005, but like mid 2010 area. 2005, 2006. I don't remember exactly when that.
I was still young.
When
Great.
when the Kickstarter came out, but yeah, I mean, at that point, computing technology had kind of started to take off. Now there was a focus. Gaming started to become a little bit more mainstream. It wasn't necessarily something that kids did,
Right.
which was a lot of issue, which was a big issue for that industry. But you know, people that grew up with the games, now they were graduating high school, getting into college. So you had gamers in college. You had gamers in in politics. You had gamers in almost everything.
Gamers out of their parents' basements.
Yeah, gamers out of their parents' basements.
You know.
Exactly.
A
Yeah.
little bit of
Doing
everything.
things, yeah.
Yeah, well, like we don't stereotype at all.
But within that, there were the people who remembered, who were inspired by the Virtual Boy, by the Matrix,
By the Matrix.
by the ideas, and so they
Anime like
carried with
dot
them.
hack.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah,
So.
stuff
People
like that.
people who looked at the Virtual Boy and said you could have been so much more.
Yeah, exactly.
Plus, everyone's dream, AR, VR pornography.
But that's a topic for another podcast.
Very different one.
So we have basically the three big hitters. There's a couple of others, but the three big hitters are Oculus Rift, the HTC Vive, and PlayStation VR. I can attest to having at least secondhand knowledge of all three. I've played PlayStation VR once before. In terms of what I've seen on that end, the Vive is heading in all of the right directions. It's got the full motion tracking with the cameras. You have to set up cameras all around your room. You have those touch controllers, which really seem to be accurate because of those cameras. Oculus is in the same type of boat, and that's part of their strengths and weaknesses is because Oculus and Vive have to be attached to very strong PCs in order to work. I think for someone who needs to get at the baseline of it, buying both the headsets, accessories, and a computer power enough to run it, you're looking at like between $1,200 to $1,500 at a startup. PlayStation VR is on the slightly lower end on that, just because you have the PlayStation that you need to buy anyway, plus the headsets, controllers, and the camera. So you're coming in at probably less than $1,000. The problem that I've noticed between PlayStation VR and the other two VR devices is that the Move controllers and the PlayStation camera were not designed with this in mind.
Gotcha.
It's
a little clunky.
They're very clunky. Very clunky. They were clunky back for the things they were designed for.
Yep.
And so you get to this point now where they're trying to do this advanced stuff, and it does not match what the Vive and Rift can do.
Yep.
But it's at a more consumer friendly cost.
Yeah. And that's kind of the beauty of the technology at this point in time. I mean, if you were to go back 20 years, almost 30 years back to like 1991, that similar technology, number one, wouldn't even be half as powerful as it is today, but it would also cost like 10 times as much.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you couldn't get a home version of a VR arcade because you'd be paying, you know, $10,000, $20,000, you know, maybe even more. I have to look into exactly the actual cost, but the amount of just material and computing power and just the sheer size of it all was cost prohibitive.
Yeah.
So at this point now, what we have, it's still expensive, and that's kind of one of the hurdles that VR kind of needs, AR/VR technology needs to overcome. It needs to kind of get to this like this sweet spot in the market where it's starting to approach. Right now, you have a lot of first adopters that are buying it, and the beauty of it is that a lot of those first adopters are people like, you know, well, I mean, I guess middle class people essentially. It's not just you know, it's not just the, you know, people who are making 6 figures a year, but now some kid that's making 60 G's, 70 G's a year can afford because, you know, he's single or whatever it may be, you know, even if he has a family, but he's got the extra cash. You know, yeah, I can drop $2,000 on a PC, or I can build a PC and then just buy the technology from there, or buy the equipment from there and just kind of build up. But we're heading in that direction, and that's kind of one of the things that I guess I would argue HTC Vive, mainly because of the amount of equipment required to set it up. I think the correct direction, at least as far as putting it onto the market for this group, is to minimize the amount of accessories. Essentially, kind of like figure out what are your absolutely necessary features. So, I mean, they're talking about stuff like eye motion tracking inside the headsets. They're talking about Bluetooth connectability. They're talking about I know the Oculus Rift created onboard headphones, which is now starting to become a kind of a standard feature across the board for all the different brands. So it's just kind of like figuring out, okay, which features are necessary and which features are kind of like auxiliary, don't really matter, and we can get rid of, because as soon as you start adding peripherals to it, you start driving up the cost.
And also, you know, that really depends on where do you want this to go, right? Depending on what market you're, depending on what group of people you're marketing to, the accessories that you need and the necessities are going to be different.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
So,
and that's kind of the beauty of it. Like right now, we have a bunch of players in the market. Everybody's trying something new, but at the same time, so that's one end of the spectrum. You have a bunch of variety, but at the same time, everybody's kind of like hovering around the idea of some form of VR AR standardization, which I think would be fantastic for the industry. You know, kind of similar to smartphones, where smartphones are now. I mean, yeah, you have Android, you have Windows, you have iPhone, but for the most part, like with a few exceptions, we can find pretty much the same apps across the board. You know, there's a similar app structure. There are some exclusives here and there, but there's a similar form, there's a similar function. So even if I get rid of my current phone right now, which is it's a Droid Android phone, and I pick up an iPhone, the learning curve minimal. You know, it's the same idea. So that's kind of what they're gravitating towards. They're kind of trying to get a standardization, so that if somebody releases a bit of software, whether you have the Vive, whether you have the Oculus Rift, or whatever else comes out in the future, you can pick it up and play. You know,
and I think a lot of that is just marketing 101. It's not even necessarily, you know, them trying to, I guess, standardize the, you know, the virtual reality headsets as they are, but it's just kind of like, it's just good business. I mean, make your product available to as many people as you can, you know.
Which unfortunately Sony has a problem with.
Sony has a problem
proprietary memory cards for the PlayStation Vita.
Sony has had a lot of questionable business decisions in the past, but that's not the topic of discussion for today.
I'm actually curious. So
they've been doing a lot of stupid stuff lately. Like the crap, Sony. Why you do this?
Again, another topic for another time. But I'm actually curious about what everyone would like in VR. Basically, if you could have anything, not just a video game per se, but any feature that VR could give you, what would you want out of it? Nat? I mean, like,
we know what Ray wants.
Porn.
I think that would be cool. I think that would be cool, but there is actually some other
what you want?
fields. The prawns.
The prawns?
The prawns.
Tiprons.
You want to explain that for us who are idiots?
Porn.
The leet speak of porn.
So I.
Boobies.
Right.
In other words.
Aside from boobs, what else
Yeah.
would you like to see?
Well, besides what? No. Anyways.
A feature, yeah. If you had a virtual reality headset here in front of you, or virtual reality or augmented reality, we can.
I
do either
mean,
or.
I don't know about features per se, but I could tell you what field I would like to see, or what fields I would like to see start using AR and VR.
Like what?
Yeah. Well, I guess we'll come back to that because I think that like I do want that to be an actual topic of discussion though.
Features specifically, then I would say I don't know if mixed reality would really be a feature, but just kind of taking the best of both and letting people interact in the real world while still experiencing the virtual
So
world.
like an augmented reality shared space,
Well, aren't they?
to where you could affect things in the world that other people could see and also affect.
Yes.
things.
Aren't they using VR to go through PTSD for veterans as well
Yeah.
to
Ooh.
recreate? Yep.
I didn't hear about that, but I like that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We'll definitely get to that. That's definitely the applications and the market side of it.
Mhm.
So
That's what I would like to see. I think
yeah,
that'd be
like
pretty cool.
as far as me, I lean more towards. I mean, I do like VR, but honestly, like I would lean more towards full dive technology, which I know is like years
Wait,
down
you
the
said
line.
besides gaming.
Yeah, besides gaming, but
I mean that was the option. Like
Yeah.
you could do like make up your own type of
Yeah.
video game or do something else.
So
I
like
like-
SAS.
yeah,
Like bakery simulator. You
Yeah,
go
yeah.
and you bake muffins.
Yeah, no, I think for
Or
me,
you're a cashier.
you know, as
Exactly.
it stands now, I do think AR is a little bit more ahead of the curve than VR is, mainly because I think it requires a little bit. It's a lower bar for entry, and there's a lot more application to it. So as far as AR goes, I would just love to see. I would love to see a little bit more innovation in that. Like, I mean, we have the tech for it to make devices smaller, to make devices a little bit more capable. Like, start integrating that stuff into glasses, into headsets, into motorcycle helmets.
Speaking
into,
of AR,
car windshields and all that stuff. I want to see, like, what I want to see right now: altered reality, heads-up displays.
Yes, a HUD would be cool.
Well, HUD would be freaking awesome because then I could just display my health and my life like right here.
you're like, my cholesterol's a little high.
A little high. I think I should not have that donut. I'm gonna risk it.
And you get an achievement.
Yeah.
Diabetes.
Diabetes.
Yeah, no, I mean, I want to see,
You
I want
have
to see that.
earned.
Yeah. I want to see that integrated into everyday life because I mean, we have apps for that kind of stuff on the phone. Like I know I have like I just downloaded. I haven't started it yet, but what's it called? It's like
It's a
Life-
dating app.
no, it's Life RPG. It's called Life RPG, which is basically a planner for gamers, where it gives me like little achievements. But I want that
yeah.
integrated into my augmented reality and just like have my little profile and if I run. If I walk 3K every day for like a month, it gives me like, some sort of achievement and I can like display that. Like, hey, I got that.
You wake up in the morning, you get out of bed without hitting snooze, and it's like, bring, rise and shine, you know?
Yeah, right?
Did you ever see the game Heavy Rain?
I didn't, but I followed it for a little while because I didn't have a PS3 at the time.
Because there is a character that basically has what you're asking for. It's
Yep.
literally a pair of sunglasses and a glove
Yep.
that's attached that comes with it. And at one point, he's sitting bored in a waiting room, so he puts it on and just starts playing like Brick Breaker with a ball and just bounce back up, and that's the kind of thing like I would want. Like I'm in the same boat. I would say is that I would like the ability to put on a pair of glasses, something lightweight like that. Put on. Not power gloves.
Yeah.
Because we're bringing
full-on
let's
Nintendo
bring
power
in
glove.
all the shitty Nintendo accessories. But
Just our
something
opinions,
like that, and I want to like have lightsabers or sword fighting or something like that.
Yep.
Speaking of augmented reality being awesome, there's a studio in Utah actually right now. It's called Void, and it's kind of like a cross between like paintball, like a paintball course, and then it's augmented reality. And so you put on the headsets, and you have like like little earphones, and you have the battery packs and everything. But you get like guns or swords or whatever, and the visor.
Swords?
The visor projects levels that you can pick at the beginning of your adventure. So you can do like medieval, like fighting giant spiders or crap like that, or you can do like full on future like Halo biz.
Yep.
And you and your friends go through, and it's set up like a like a big laser tag course, and so it's dark inside, but obviously it doesn't matter because the map that you're walking through in the augmented reality is real, and so when you touch the wall, there's actually a wall there, but it just projects a different texture onto that wall, and so you can do like full on dungeons, and you have like different I guess
scenarios.
Different scenarios you play through, and then you have like a special like Nintendo Power Stick and use it as a torch. But then like as you move it, it actually changes the light because based on the cameras inside the studio, plus the cameras like on your visor and everything. And so you just go through and you just play through, and it's been out for about a year now actually.
Nice. So is that along the lines of what you'd like to see as a feature for the?
I would like to see multiple like specific locations of this because I hate freaking laser tag. Oh my gosh. I hate laser tag so much.
I mean, you're wrong.
Because
I know who I'm not inviting.
Every single game that I've played, there's always like a 4-year-old that chases you around and just like spams you, and just like just
what
just
you gotta do
full
is
on
turn around
and punch him in the face.
Let it be known that we are not condoning violence of any kind against anybody.
We've had mead.
We've had mead.
Say you shoot that kid point blank in the face, and
but it doesn't work.
You lose.
But it doesn't
But
work
call them
because he's
names.
sitting there just spamming
Start
the
crying.
trigger, laughing, and hitting you. And when you get shot, you can't use your gun, and he just chases you around the whole freaking level.
So
and
what
every
you're telling
single
me is that
game
a child is
of
bullying
every
you?
single exactly. These 4-year-olds bully me at laser tag, right?
That's the kind of kid we're gonna have.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm gonna teach him to pick out the victim.
Oh God!
People like me, right?
No.
See, because when I play laser tag, I actually play. Like, I try and keep down, like, I shoot around corners and all that crap, and then these kids just run around and they're like,
It's like, have the kid next to you and you smell that kid? Smells like weakness.
Natalie.
Natalie.
You know what? I haven't really looked into VR or AR to be able to give an honest opinion on what I'd like to see. I know that
it
I'd
doesn't
like
have to be realistic, just like
Pie in the sky.
what do you want from virtual reality?
If a box just
Everyone
landed.
literally stares down Natalie demanding an answer.
Yeah.
tell us.
No, but like, and that's kind of like where science fiction goes, and that's that's all the stuff. Like, a box lands in front of you, you pulled out like a device that was either virtual reality or augmented reality, and like there's a need in your current life, and like I need that thing to have the feature which fulfills that need. What is that? You can always default.
If I was gonna
I was
take a
gonna
guess,
say, yeah. I mean,
If I was
James
gonna-
Franco.
I just need James Franco.
I just
in
need
my
James
life.
Franco.
You know,
So
like
something that could,
on that-
portraits, or not portraits, but like physical.
like Harry
Words.
Potter,
NPCs.
actual like moving pictures and whatnot.
Yeah.
Nice.
NPCs.
Maybe something that you could interact with. Obviously, you can't like physically touch it,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
like
Well,
like
actually,
If possible.
if you had a power glove.
Japan actually came out. There's a Japanese
sex
company.
robots.
No.
Ray, why are we going back?
No.
To, he said Japan. We were talking about.
Obviously, that's where your mind
I
goes,
mean-
right?
Go from James Franco to Japan. That just makes sense.
There's
Come on.
Sounds like a
Jay.
great time. Though.
That's why.
here we go. It's
Quick, everyone,
Okay,
vamp for
okay.
time.
Gatebox. No. It's called Gatebox Holographic Virtual Assistant. It's,
Wait,
Wait. Read
No,
that.
no,
Read the
No,
title.
no.
of
We're
that
not gonna
article.
read the title because that is clickbait. So basically, Japan is coming out with like it's
I
like a
wasn't
little.
off.
It's a little AR. It's basically like a device that you can just like. It's almost like what's Amazon's little box that they came out with?
Alexis.
Alexa or something
Alexa,
like that.
yes.
It's called Alexa. It's similar to
Oh,
Alexa.
yeah.
It's similar in style to Alexa, where it's just like this little cylinder or something like that. But it has a holographic projection, and I don't know what kind of characters it has, but obviously it has like some sort of anime character. It's geared towards single males that are alone and in their apartments and whatnot, and have nobody to come home to. But it's almost like an artificial intelligence / augmented reality that is connected to your phone, kind of controlled via an app, and kind of like has your schedule and whatnot. And it actually text messages you. So like it says, "Hey, I'm missing you. Hey, what's going on? You know what's going on? How you doing? This was our this was the grocery list that you have. what do you want to eat and whatnot. So it adds little reminders, kind of gives you the weather updates and whatnot, and also adds a little bit of companionship.
That's interesting.
To boot, which is really cool. So it would be kind of like in that respect, except for you, instead of like an anime waifu,
it would be James Franco.
James Franco.
It would be James Franco.
Hey, nothing against the guy. I love the guy,
He's
but
so
he has
beautiful.
like the most doofy smile I have ever seen.
I would kiss his face every day, at all times.
But yeah,
I hope he's listening.
You never know.
Maybe
You
in the
never know,
future.
right?
You never know. Yeah.
Please marry me.
So yeah, I guess you would want an augmented reality device, like holographic device that
Yeah.
projects the being of your choice.
James Franco.
James Franco. Okay. In
Have
his
you guys
voice.
seen that table that is like a projector on the top and it senses like the height differences of things?
Yes.
And hold the sand and you can make it rain and
Yep.
all that crap.
I've seen that.
It's great.
It's awesome.
That would
Ernest.
be cool to have a table where you could just do that, but like more, like make little villages, like Minecraft. Actually, there is a VR Minecraft. What am I talking about?
Yeah.
It was in production,
Yeah.
or beta form or whatever. They were testing things.
It's kind of like a no-brainer for.
Because it was like a frame and it was like glass or whatever, and you just wore the glasses and there was like little things. And you just pick up a block, you go bloop bloop, and put it where you want it. It's virtual Legos, but Minecraft style.
So
Did you already go? Did you already give the feature that you wanted?
Nope.
Technically, yes, because I was talking about I want to. Actually, what
you did.
what you were mentioning, Reed, was really cool. Is the idea of going to a place,
Yeah, it's
a big
it's
arena,
like, it's an event.
Yeah.
and going through with whatever scenario you choose to set up with,
Yeah.
and that's really cool. Having a no,
Sad baby.
Uh-oh. Baby yelling, baby crying, not
No,
happy.
baby.
No, baby doesn't want to go.
I changed my mind. I know what I would want. I want a virtual reality world of Neopets.
My God.
We're gonna play the Wheel of Excitement in VR.
Wow, this is just
This
not
is-
exciting.
This really isn't. I won 20 rupees or Neo points or whatever.
Do you know most?
This
Do you know how much
this is
this
taking
costs?
this is taking a
Do
dark
you?
turn.
Do you read? Do
No,
you?
I don't know what the exchange rate for rupees to U.S.
It's
currency
about
is.
40 to
So
1.
there's
Oh well,
actually
way worse than Mexico.
on that note, there is it's called the Void. Did you mention that?
Yes.
Did you mention? Okay, yeah, you talked about the Void. You brought that up. Yeah. So there is
Sounds like a fucking horse.
and that's
my phone.
that's kind of what's convinced me of the staying power of AR VR. For a while, people have been talking about as to whether or not it was actually a gimmick. It's a fad, kind of like 3D TVs, which came and went.
Thank God.
Yeah, I know, right?
Thank God.
But no, I think that's the staying power, mainly because yes, we do have theme parks that are coming out. The Void is going to be, as Reed mentioned a little bit earlier, it's going to be a fully augmented reality, virtual reality theme park where you get placed in these arenas and you choose the style of game, and then the beauty of it beyond gaming is that we have a lot of application. So there's different industries, refining, factories, power. So you have the industrial application of it. As far as the augmented reality goes, there's a company called Daiquiri, which is coming up with their augmented reality smart helmet. The purpose of that, the intent of that, is something that you can put on a worker, goes out into the factory, and it's already got the factory pre-mapped, and basically it gives you a layout in real time as to what's going on with the different pipes, with the different valves, the function of the factory, be it a power plant, be it a refinery. And then if you're in the training process, it actually gives you tutorials with 3D spreads of, this is what the valve does, these are the buttons you need to press, these are the levers you need to move and twist, and then it'll tell you where in the process everything is.
And that's, I think that's going to be, and I know there's at least there's a few opinions out there that VR's applications are going to and should expand beyond gaming,
and they will,
because there's a lot of cool applications and potentials for that as well.
Yeah.
But it's gaming right now that's kind of leading the charge to get that technology out to a basic consumer base who will hopefully state that, this stuff, we want this stuff, which is going to result in more funding and research, which will eventually lead to things like you were talking about. And basically stuff that's going to be utilized outside of gaming.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's no
it's
doubt
like
in
one
my
of
mind.
those things where, like you guys were saying, there are other fields that can definitely use it, but it's like, well, why spend the money? Because gamers are gonna push it anyway.
Right.
Yeah, and that's kind of the core of it right now. I mean, I think gaming is the center of it, is at the center of it, and I think that's a good thing. Mainly because the gaming community it's so creative, it's so eclectic, that there's a lot. We're gonna exercise the technology. We're gonna exercise the application so that when it comes time and
work out the bugs.
Yeah, we're working out the bugs, and I mean it's already there. It's already starting to kind of bleed into different industries. But pretty much like if an industry is looking, it's like, well, we're looking for this. Oh yeah, we've already done that before. Like we programmed this game to do X, Y, and Z. You can just take that framework, or you can take that concept and apply it in this particular area. So I mean, of course, the obvious ones are military, military training exercises, so on and so forth. I mean, hopefully, maybe virtual reality. Wars where you're not really killing anybody and it's more just like, hey, it's virtual and you're trying to take over cyberspace or take over, which I don't know if that would be any better, but
Ender's Game.
Yeah, Ender's Game. Moving on from that, but you have applications in education.
Yes, that's where I would like to see it go.
Yeah, no, it makes education that much more accessible because now you don't need to go to a central and interesting. You don't need to go to a central location. You don't need to go to a location, a building, not a location. You don't need to go to a building where everybody else is going, and all that overhead. Now you can just grab modules and whatnot, put them on your head, and you're exploring. You're exploring different things. You're there in history. You're there in in science. You're seeing things happening in front of you.
You get more personalized curriculum too, as far as the actual education goes itself, because people learn differently. I mean, like, oh my gosh, I hated math.
Yeah, but I mean,
and so because my brain obviously works different than Javier's works different than Ernest's. It makes it so that it kind of improves on the actual efficiency of the education itself.
Absolutely. I mean,
and so like you get less people falling behind because you have specialized learning programs.
Yep. And not only that, but I mean, obviously these devices are going to be connected to the internet, and like, how cool would it be if I had augmented reality lenses and I'm walking, let's say the zoo. Would be a great place for something like this. You walk into a zoo anywhere. You have augmented reality glasses. It links up to the zoo mainframe, to the zoo internet, so to speak. And basically, every time you look at something, a plant, because I mean, like for example, the San Diego Zoo, which is what I know best because I go there all the time.
Yeah, great zoo.
It's actually kind of a funny little factoid. Their plant life is actually more diverse and more expensive than their animal exhibits.
Interesting.
Because they have such a wide array of I wouldn't even say exotic plants, but like more rare plants. They specialize in horticulture. It's not just animals, but they're also trying to take care of native plants to California, to San Diego, Chula Vista area, and also across the world. But it'd be cool if of course you see the plaque for the animal. But while I'm seeing the plaque for the animal, I'm seeing like a bunch of little call outs for like, hey, look, this little tree's called this, and this little plant's called this. Or you see a little call out for the animal and like little factoids going on, areas of the world, and you can kind of using the interface kind of guide yourself through the areas of interest for you.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
it's kind of like
toss out all of those tape recorder audio tours.
It's like a better version of what they have at museums.
Yeah.
Because at museums, you get the little wand thing. You type in the number of the exhibit that you're looking at.
Yeah.
And you just listen to it. But, obviously this is better.
This is better, yeah, because you already have it. Like, you have it integrated into your glasses, into your phone, or whatever device you're carrying on you. It links up to the interface of that location, and then it just gives you all of the information. You can guide yourself to the points of interest. Like, it gives you everything there, and you're like, oh, I'm more interested in this area or this topic of this particular exhibit than I am in the rest.
I'm thinking the medical field too, like as far as practicing surgeries go, like dangerous surgeries that most people will never do.
Yep.
Kind of help you specialize in more fields, so we could have more heart surgeons, brain surgeons, people like that.
That ties into education too.
Yeah. That's all part of education because now you're experimenting on virtual patients as opposed to live ones or cadavers. Or cadavers. Yeah, and I mean even then you can be because I mean there's only so much you can do with a cadaver.
Right.
Like there's only so many scenarios.
Frank, you cut open the heart, but it's not bleeding.
But it's exactly.
It doesn't count.
Yeah, whereas
you're not panicking as much as you should be right now.
Yeah. Whereas with a virtual experience, and it's shown a lot of these demos and whatnot. Like your reality is in large part shaped by your perception. So, I mean, I could be sitting in this room right now, but I put a headset on, and that headset in the virtual world shows me at the top of a skyscraper, and I'm going to be freaking the hell out.
Yeah.
Because, like, I feel like I'm at the top of a skyscraper, and I'm feeling a little bit more precarious.
Right.
So, in medical situations, in law enforcement situations,
I guess,
those,
any fear in general.
Yeah, any fear in general, or just any high-stress situation, any learning environment becomes that much more visceral and
Like
that much more
combat
memorable.
medics.
Yep.
I mean, even then, public speaking, which
Yep.
is what
That
second
too,
biggest fear in the world or whatever.
There'd be like an underwear button.
I need to hit this.
It's like a little little sheet that you just use to like first level. Everyone's in underwear, so it's kind of funny. Second level, okay, you got to talk in front of people now, so just like get over it.
I can totally see that being abused. Audience composed primarily of women.
Right.
Redheaded.
Underwear button. Oh yeah.
So now we know what Reed's thing is.
Into red
Both
hat.
my exes are redhead. So.
Oh.
Nice.
Anyways.
So yeah, and the technology itself is synergistic with a lot of different industries out there. I mean, robotics. You know, you couple virtual reality, you couple augmented reality with robotics, even nano robotics, and you know, yeah, we're going, and that's also synergistic with the medical field.
Yeah.
You know, because I know we're experimenting a lot with micro electromechanical devices, nanobots, so on and so forth. You know, you get a nanobot.
Combat robots.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like
You get in a pod. It's literally just a drone,
Yeah.
but instead it's like a giant like Metal Gear. You
Yep.
know,
yeah, or you know,
hopping around the battlefield, exploding people with like giant football-sized bullets.
Exactly. And in the medical field, you get little nanobots, which, you know, with their sensors, using their sensors, they kind of create a map of what's their environment. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you'll be able to ever get cameras that small, you know, good enough resolution, but through the sensors, you'll get a map of the environment, and then that translates over to the virtual reality. So
Yeah.
now you're like literally seeing inside of some of these blood vessels.
Yeah, you could inject it into someone, and they would map out the actual blood vessels themselves, so you could see where arteries were that you might not have known
Yep.
were there. So
You know,
it kind of reduces the risk of cutting an artery and having someone bleed out. Or I was thinking, like, what if you get nanobots and you just inject it into someone who's bitten by like a snake, and they're programmed to like disassemble the actual venom,
the proteins,
the venom proteins, and just like
The industry that I'm surprised, the industry in which I'm surprised hasn't jumped onto this even more so. Two of them actually: marketing and environmentalists.
How would you apply it for marketing?
Well, the marketing and the environmentalists are kind of go hand in hand. The issue with a lot of current marketing materials, either they're LED billboards. I mean, yeah, you can reduce the amount of energy that they use, but they're still using energy. They're still using light pollution, electrical pollution, reliance on power plants, space.
Sure.
You know, those roadside signs, the billboards that you see out there, they're taking up real estate. They're taking up land. You know, that requires you to develop stuff. But
flying billboards.
yeah, well, the thing is, if you have altered reality, virtual reality, you essentially minimize that footprint, because now what you can do is you just geocache locations, and you have an altered reality. I mean, if you're using glasses, let's just assume that at this point in time, within the next 10-15 years, we're going to have augmented reality glasses. I don't need to see. There's no need for a billboard, because that location is geocached, and every time I look in that direction, my augmented reality projects that.
Like even if you don't need glasses, like on a car window, like as you're driving, you everything is a virtual readout, like your speedometer, everything,
So-
gas,
Man,
odometer.
that's getting like super technical.
Yeah.
Because I'm
No,
like,
But I mean,
there's
look
no
at it these days.
way.
Everybody has a smartphone in their pocket.
Does
I mean,
not matter for me. Marketing wise, it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
safe to put all your eggs in one basket for one thing. So you
True,
still
yeah.
need that.
Well, I mean, but that's the beauty of it. Like Google is already doing stuff like that. Like they're caching your search history,
Right.
and they're shooting targeted ads. So it's not like building A is only gonna have ads from X company.
Right.
The thing is, like, that company it's already being done. I mean, whether you like it or not, they have information on what your search habits are.
Data mining.
So yeah, data mining. So building A, company A with building A has this space open, and that space is going to be different for everybody. So for me, it'll be gaming related products. It'll be electronic products. It'll be
For me, it's knives.
yeah, knives. It'll be Renaissance gear.
It
Dungeons
is.
and Dragons, so on and so forth. But then for Reed, he's gonna be looking in the same spot, and it's gonna be knives.
It's targeted
Knives,
advertisement.
It's targeted
It's
advertising.
like legit, like knives and then like food.
So it diversifies. I mean, largely, I'm not going to say that marketing doesn't work on me, because I mean it does. I see commercials sometimes and I'm like, ooh, I really want
Those
that.
clothes look so
Yeah.
comfortable.
But I mean, it has an effect, and I mean, it's not necessarily. I don't think it's you're putting all your eggs in one basket, but it's just
Extra egg to have.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
an extra egg to have. And
A
like I
nest
said,
egg.
I just
Yeah.
think abolishing all marketing to only VR is not beneficial.
no, yeah. It's. I think eventually it'll move that way.
Yeah.
It's going to be a slow transition. Of course, there's going to be magazines, there's going to be TV ads, always.
Mhm.
You know, you're always going to have commercials and whatnot, because you're always going to be watching something.
But based off of how technology develops, we don't even know what that's going to look like in 10, 15 years. For all
Exactly.
we know, everything is VR at that
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, and it would make sense, because like I said, now you're minimizing the footprint of a lot of stuff.
Right.
Now you don't need that, 20 million LED light billboard,
Right.
because there's no need for it.
Mhm.
Sure.
So then you eliminate the need for that energy. So you minimize the energy needs for for that city or for that particular building. So and that's that's something that I'm kind of surprised that more companies aren't kind of jumping on, because like right now green is the thing.
Yeah.
That's the it topic right now in the corporate world, essentially. And it's kind of like, hey, why don't you invest money in this so you can minimize that footprint, in terms of that energy footprint for those billboards, for those ads and whatnot.
I think we're still at a point where the tech just isn't quite there.
Yeah.
We're starting to walk towards it, but we're just not there yet. Google Glass is the gateway to potentially getting to that, and we'll see how that goes.
Well, my thinking is like, what if in like 10 years we're looking back and we're like, Oculus Rift, that's as lame as the Power Glove.
No, you know what? I think in 10 years we're going to see a dramatic we're going to see a dramatic acceleration. Or we will be seeing a dramatic acceleration now, so that 10 years from now we are going to be in a place where it's just like, holy crap, how did we get here? I don't think the next generation
Because science.
For me, the way my prediction, poke you in the face, buddy. My prediction is that not the next generation of consoles, but 2 generations from now. So 2 generations after the current Switch, and then the Xbox Scorpio and PlayStation 4's new console. 2 generations from that, I think AR/VR is going to be a staple. It's going to be a standard. It's going to be a standard feature, because now we've got the technology down pat. I mean, there's a lot of innovation. There's a lot of science going into super materials, graphene specifically, which is essentially a high temperature superconductor. We found ways to scale up the manufacturing process to actually manufacture appreciable amounts of it. Now the trick is to scale up to an industrial level. So the materials are there, the quantum mechanics are there with the onset of quantum computing. Every month there's a new revolution, there's a new discovery in that field, which makes the whole idea of quantum computing that much more stable. So I think 10 years we're going to see a huge breakthrough, and then 20 years from that, in the second generation of consoles and gaming systems and whatnot, it's going to be just a mainstay.
Gotcha.
That or it's zombies.
Yeah, that or zombies. All right, so I think, unless we have anything else to talk about,
I think we've exhausted the topic.
We've exhausted the topic. We've kind of talked about where it came from, where it is now, and where we think it's going to go. I do think augmented reality, virtual reality is going to be here to stay,
Yeah.
and I think it's just going to get better from here on out and actually improve life as we go. But that, I believe, concludes our first podcast, guys. Way to go! Let's give ourselves a round of applause. Woohoo!
Yay!
So before we leave, I do want to talk about a few things. I did mention early on that I am also a real estate investor, and I do want to, because gaming is my passion. A huge reason why I joined LVGU was to be able to reach out to fellow gamers, kind of teach them to create their own businesses, to invest, because my goal is not only to spend time with my family, but just to game whenever the heck I want. In order to do that, I need to build a passive income. I need to build a business. For me, real estate investment is that vehicle that'll allow me to build that passive income, that'll allow me to retire from my job and have the time to do the things that I want. So, I reach out to you guys. I reach out to LVGU. If you guys want to learn how to do this, if you guys are interested in this, reach out to me. You know, you can find me on Twitter, Cavalier Gamer. You can also search Javier Banuelos. That's my name, Cavalier Gamer 00. Send me a private message. Send me a tweet or something. I'll be on Snapchat and Instagram here pretty soon, and I'll be creating a Facebook as well. Our website, our official LVGU website, is to come. I believe we'll have it down pat this weekend.
Don't forget to start following us, guys, on Instagram, Twitter, etc. Our tag is LV Gamers Unite. So LV Gamers Unite. And then same thing for our meetup group. If you're interested in attending any of our events, you can find, if you are interested in buying a home, selling a home, or investing in real estate, you can find us at Real Estate Gamer, or on our meetup page. We'll have all our details to either become an investor or start into a position in sales if that's what you've been thinking about lately.
Yeah, and if you guys are in the Las Vegas area, please make sure to come out to our meetups. You can find them on our Facebook page, Las Vegas Gamers Unite.
And meetup as well.
Las Vegas Gamers Unite.
Las Vegas Gamers Unite. We have events on a weekly basis. Come out, enjoy, have some free food, play a bunch of games, D&D, Mario Kart, Rock Band.
All that jazz.
Yeah, all that jazz. Make some friends, have some fun. All right, guys, let's wrap this thing up.
All right, yay.
Woo!
Bye, Internet!
Good day, Internet. Good day.
I think
Good day.
I said good day.